I never made it, but I know what it takes. I'm motivated by a mix of emotion. Got my statement, and I'm reading it slow so I can understand it fully. Appreciate my stand and go out of this world and ride on time. Oh, never in my life have I seen the sky light up like this. I'm far away from Earth and I wanna know.
So the next day I decided I'll take an auto rickshaw, and instead of going on foot I'll explore the outer areas of Hampi.
Crashing into a wall. Right now I need a miracle. Hurry up now, I need a miracle. Straining, reaching out. I call your name, but you're not around.
This single statue of Lord Narasimha was really majestic. Even though I'm not much of a follower of religion or faith or anything, but just the feel, the vibe around this place was awesome.
It's in my head, darling, I hope that you'll be here when I need you the most. So don't let me down, 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 down, down. Don't let me down, down, down.
Right next to the statue of Lord Narasimha, there was also this single stone carved linga of Lord Shiva, and obviously that was the reason that early morning the place was entirely so crowded. After that we went to this temple. According to the guide who was present there, this temple was entirely buried in sand during the 16th, 17th century and all. British archaeologists found this temple and they had to literally excavate it out of sand, so that's why it is kind of underground. And if you go inside and actually see, you can make out that the entire ground level is actually much lower than the ground level on the road or the general neutral level of Hampi.
Don't let me down, don't let me down, down. I think I'm losing my mind now, yeah. Don't let me down, don't let me down. I think I'm losing my mind now, yeah. Don't let me down, don't let me down, don't let me down. Crashing into a wall. Right now I need a miracle. Hurry up now, I need a miracle. Straining, reaching out. I call your name, but you're not around. I say your name, but you're not around.
After covering most of the archaeological ruins, I actually reached the main destinations, tourist destinations in Hampi. This was the Lotus Mahal and the Elephant Stable. After this was the Vijay Vitala temple, but this was the main attraction. This was the place where the maximum crowd gathers in Hampi. This is the place where the maximum tourist attraction comes.
Running out of time. I really thought you were on my side, but now there's nobody by my side. I need you, I need you, I need you right now. Yeah, I need you right now. So don't let me, don't let me, don't let me down. I think I'm losing my mind now. It's in my head, darling. I hope that you'll be here when I need you the most. So don't let me, don't let me, don't let me down. Don't let me down, don't let me down. Don't let me down, down, down. Don't let me down, don't let me down, down, down. Don't let me down, down, down. Don't let me down, don't let me down, down. I think I'm losing my mind now, Don't let me down. Don't let me down. I think I'm losing my mind now, Don't let me down. Don't let me down. Don't let me down.
I think this is one of the most amazing, intriguing things about Hampi is that wherever you go, wherever you look around, on top of a hill or on top of a mountain or by the side of the road, you will see some kind of archaeological monument. It might be a ruined temple, a ruined mandap, or just a small house, whatever it is. Everything is ancient in this town, and wherever you go, you feel that this place was royal. One of the maps and even one of the locals there was telling me that the entire town is surrounded by a fort wall, the diameter of which is 30 kilometers. And he was saying whatever we see now is just probably 10 to 15% of what actually existed during the kingdom. Hampi makes for an absolutely beautiful experience for travelers, especially people who like to explore on their own, because there's so many places, so many unexplored, so many unheard places still in Hampi. So what people usually commit the mistake when they come here is that they see the popular attractions and just go there, like the Lotus Mahal or the other things, but they miss out on the small minor things which you have to explore on foot or hire a very good guide. Hampi is usually very hot, especially during the afternoons, and make sure you're carrying a lot of water with you, because I had to literally drink 8 to 9 glasses of this masala soda just to keep myself hydrated. And I have some affluence towards this particular drink. What I'm doing right now is just one of it. Over a period of I think 2 to 3 hours, I had 8 to 9 of them. Didn't upset my stomach that much, but it was good. This particular place is very interesting. It's called the Hazari Rama Temple. The temple has carvings which depicts the entire story of Ramayana. So if you see carefully wherever the camera is panning out right now, there will be a particular scene from the Ramayana. For instance, this side of the section was the what they call the Sundar Kand. The back side of the temple was the battle scenes and all that. And especially when you go take an entire circle around the temple, the back parts were pleasantly more beautiful than compared to the front parts. After that, I think this particular place was what I liked the most in Hampi. It is at a very not much elevated, but there were around 30 steps which you had to climb, and there's a huge platform kind of a thing from where you can see almost all of the ruins I had just visited in the morning. So it was really beautiful, and it becomes a very good spot for videography, photography, and I could see a lot of people with the cameras, and I handed one of them and just asked them quickly to take a quick snap of me. I think traveling solo has pros and cons. The con is that you cannot take shots such as this unless you request someone, or you might as well carry a friend along to take them. Place is one of the main attractions of Hampi, the stone chariot temple, also known as the Vijay Vittala temple. Although one weird thing about Hampi is that you might not see the actual idols in most of the temples, because either the gates are blocked or the idol is not there anymore. Vijay Vittala temple was also one of them. So more than the temple itself, it's the stone chariot which was there outside, which is the main attraction. It was really hot and it was annoying, and there were a lot of irritating school children around me, so I had to just keep walking and just enjoy whatever the architecture was. One more weird thing around this temple was there was a lot of black stone used, and I overheard one of the guides saying that these black stones were in those days imported from Andhra Pradesh, which usually does not exist in Karnataka. So Vijay Vittala temple, I think, was the last on my list to be covered in Hampi, and I think I lost my auto driver for a while there because he was sleeping and I couldn't find him, and by this time it was almost 3 to 4 p.m. and I was really hungry, so I decided to call it a day, have some food, and end my Hampi trip on a very good note.
Okay, if you're planning to travel to Hampi, keep 3 things in mind. One, there is no ATM available here. You have to go some 5-6 kilometers out to a small town called Kamlapur. Better you carry lots of cash with you. Second, there's no alcohol available here. It is illegally, but otherwise it's not. And third and the most important thing is network. There's no network connection here at all. Only in some cafes you'll get Wi-Fi, which is also very slow. But otherwise that makes for a perfect setting. If you're coming down here, make sure you have at least 2 to 3 days so that you can, go around everywhere. If you have to cover every single monument, everything is in a diameter of around, let's say, 30 kilometers. So it's better if you hire an auto and they charge only $1,000 or something, and they'll show you around. Make sure you go to the riverside, and there are a lot of good cafes here, Israeli cafes, which serve good food and the illegal alcohol I was talking about. The hippie guys can go across the river. There's a small place called Hippie Island where you can go and enjoy yourself, do everything possible you can think of. I went there for a half an hour and I came back because that's not my interest. So that's it, signing off, and thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe and share this video around to your friends who would like to solo travel. Hampi is like the shit, the best place you can travel to as a traveler. It's amazing. So yeah, thank you very much.